How close were you to Tupac?
Tupac was like one of the young guys on tour that's getting their ropes in. So I'm like the uncle guy. I'm Uncle. Redman will call me Uncle. Shaq will call me Uncle. So Unc is my nickname. So I accepted that responsibility. Pac is brought on tour by Shock G, Digital Underground.
Of course.
1990. Young guy, carrying bags. Latifah comes on the tour a little bit, and on the same tour, right? Latifah introduces to me a young person, a protege called, meet my young guy. We're in Louisiana.
Treach.
My young guy, Treacherous. These two guys, 19 years old, on tour together, me looking at both of them, they looking at me. I'm like, listen, if you get fucking arrested in Jackson, Mississippi, we not stopping this fucking tour. All right, yo, Chuck, we got you, bro. It brings a flutter in my heart, man, because these are young guys.
Yeah.
Young guys, I mean, you doing your thing. This is our senior moment. We're leading the tour, our senior moment. But the moment is not yours. The moment is your path that you set for others to assume that piece. It's like hip hop got to a spot where, this is my mantelpiece, this is our throne, and nobody else got. Our thing was totally different. It's like, bro, this is your future. This is the world that you want to be in. We're showing you how we do our thing, and we're still going to do our thing at our age. It's a 30, 31, right? And like 19. That you can do it too. And these guys took note. They were very respectable, down with it. And the next year, Treach was a star with Naughty by Nature. And 2 years later, Pac was a star when Brenda had a baby and stuff like that. It really, and then the thing is, I gave him, I don't even gave him a call or whatever. I think I saw him the next time when he got his role in Same Song. I said, look at this Tupacalypse. It's a Tupacalypse and Treacherous. And I was so happy, man, because I said he finally got some run in there.
Oh yeah, and once he got that baton, forget about it.
Yeah, today, if you interview Treach, man.
I've interviewed Treach. I mean, in fact, Treach actually was the first person to walk out of one of my interviews.
Oh, really?
We got to the end and we were talking about Tupac's death.
You was on the DJ Vlad. You was hitting them with shots and
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we were talking about Tupac's death and everything. He just finally just couldn't take it. He just got.
Oh,
up.
That's what he got. Yeah.
He just started to get too emotional. He just got up and just kind of not like angrily walked out, but just was like, I can't.
As far as I fucking see it, anybody been to a Tyson fight, ain't fighting Vegas, man. If you stand 3 fucking miles down the road, they'll tell you don't drive nowhere because you're not going to go nowhere. The traffic's so thick. Gangbangers do shit they want you to know they did shit. Or if they didn't, they want to have the name of rapper doing some shit and anything else, but they always fucking at the end of the day, you get caught. Biggie get killed in motherfucking Beverly Hills outside a vibe of fucking wars and shit. And this motherfucker just floats into the fucking sunset or the fucking sun going down. Where you could have a jaywalking charge and the helicopter ghetto bird to be on your ass and you can't go no fucking where. So with all that shit, where all these police, where all the feds, the fuck was that was supposed to be following Death Row, Bad Boy Big and everything, when all this shit going, ain't no motherfucking body there. Gangsters do shit and they wanted to be known they did shit and pass all the rest of that shit. Fuck around, believe everything, though. 2 of my niggas, they was assassinated professional fucking hits, man. Fuck out of here, man. Say some nigga did that shit, man. Fuck out of here, man. Motherfucking this goddamn wintertime in motherfucking Florida, too. Believe anything is while all the rappers ain't nobody getting fucking bodies and shit.
I feel you, man.
Ain't nobody getting motherfucking caught. Anybody believes some old bullshit.
Those 2 guys as rookies that year built a bond and a kinship. That kinship was blood, man, right throughout. Me as a fraternal hip hop member, exalted in the joy of seeing 2 young brothers from two different parts of the world,
Right.
odds against them and all, find a kinship. And brothers and sisters who come from different environments. You know, this wasn't the, you know, the fraternity, white fraternity college thing where college students get together and like, okay, no, this is our art form
Organic.
coming together.
Yeah.
And with people of different backgrounds coming together for the single cause. This is what Public Enemy led, and we relished into creating a thing. And we didn't create the thing, because you got to get the props to the guys like Russell and even you got, you know, for lack of a whatever, Bam and all them, they all created a situation that you brought your situation to the table. Now, how it was governed or whatever might not be to anybody's whatever, but coming together from different environments and building on that is what Public Enemy relished in. That, okay, listen, you got a friendship, work and do something with it, you know? And these are things, let me tell you, Vlad, these are the things that people talk about their military years, they talk about their college years, they talk about a lot of different things in the regular world, if you want to call it the white world or whatever, at special times. Athletes talk about, man, when we were on the court together, we went to war. These rapper stories, man, these rapper stories are very special. Yesterday, I talked to Joey, a Run. And just the fact that he can let a story out to me, I let a story out to him about how special our relationship was. No one knows, but people would love to hear, like, man, Joe Simmons and Chuck D. And he says, man, I just wanted to talk to Chuck. And I said, I wanted to talk to Run. And they're special to us. When they're encased into a situation where our genre and our music is looked to be the scum of the earth or lesser than or something that's just, you know, derogatory, it's an insult. But we understand why it's an insult. It's our job to do maintenance on it and clean it as much as possible, because these people are going to be 60 and 70 and 80 if they get there. And when I hear stories about actors, or I sit with the OGs like Harry Belafonte or Dick Gregory, and I hear them talk about their days, I have no other thing to do other than be quiet and be an aberration and listen, because that's the paved way that was brought for me. That's why you don't measure it by money. You don't measure it by money. You measure it by the intensity of the teaching moment, man.
Well, I think what people don't realize is that right around that time, Fear of a Black Planet,
right?
You know, you look at hip hop now and you look at all the top rappers, they're like the richest guys, the flossiest guys, and so forth. The theme of hip hop during that time, with Public Enemy being the biggest hip hop entity at that time, it was so anti-material. It was whack to wear a gold chain. Everyone was wearing leather-bound African medallions. You know, Poor Righteous Teachers and Paris and all these other socially conscious groups.
But that came out of us doing gigs, because when we threw gigs and somebody came in and they worked all year in retail and they had this gold chain and coming to our gigs, we was like, yo, man, that's going to start a fight and we're going to lose the gig. Take the gold off. That's simply how that came.
Really?
Guy comes in, works all year, retail store, comes in, got this girl with him, got a little gold chain, cats in the corners looking like vipers, man. Gold chain ain't gonna be around his neck for long, man. It's like, yo, man, save yourself the problem, bro. You can't come in this event with a
You would
gold.
Stop people at the door with gold chains.
Take your put it back in the car, or you hide it, or you're not wearing anything.
Yeah, no, because I remember LL Cool J dropped, was it Walking Like a Panther, and he was wearing all this gold, and that was like one of his like least popular albums because people were just not on that at that time. It was a good album.
We wanted the momentum.
You see what I'm talking about, though?
We wanted the momentum of that. You didn't feel no pressure to be a fan or be in hip hop, because if you didn't, I mean, and those things ended up being pressure later on for later generations. We're like, if I ain't got, or better yet, it's like you got ability, they got ability, but the only thing that separates you from them is they rich and you're not. And they ask, and they show up their money, telling you got to spend your money to check them out. Doing pretty much the same thing. So you ain't never getting in And that only builds up animosity, man. And animosity happened to really be a damper in the game because you can't continue to show off to folks who ain't got, while you asking them, not even asking, because it even gets worse, demanding that they spend their money, what little money they got, in order so they could feel better about themselves. That's why I said, listen, if you got esteem, then all this shit is a level down.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, if you got esteem, none of this shit mean anything. So I mean, even to this day, it's like,
right, because you guys never wore gold jewelry, nothing. You guys were all rich.
We wore gold on one tour because we were on stage, and just to go up against the acts that wore gold, I bought a bag. I went to Richmond and bought a bag full of fake gold chains like this because you're on the stage. Bro, you're on the stage. What the fuck do they know, man?
Stage gold.
We put ropes around the S1s. I put rope. I had 4. And then after the performance, I threw them shits in the crowd.
Away.
And throwing this shits in the crowd really created panic, man. So it kind of like, and cats on our tours had Dookie real rope. Well, they were all fake, man. At the end of the day, Alloy messed with that charging cats. I said, man, and they would see the ropes on other groups, and they'd be, oh my God. They said, they didn't even listen to the song.
Yeah. Chain
reaction.
reaction.
Well, I'm gonna fix this. I came out, I had a rope on. They said, oh my God, and I threw it to them. They're like, nah, you can't touch. Then I stopped doing that because I said, this is gonna cause mayhem.
Someone's gonna die over this.
I did that in Richmond,
this fake
Virginia.
Chain,
yeah. And let me tell you, Eric B and LL, man, love these because you know Eric B is our union lead. He's our unofficial.
Eric B had the most gold on. I think anybody.
And then Slick Rick.
Slick Rick,
Kane.
And Kane.
And I understand who's the Henry Kissinger, not Kissinger, the Henry Kissinger. I had to always negotiate with cats not being trying to, in their one-upmanship. I was always the person that come in like, you don't want to do that. It's not worth it. You know, Kane, Ricky, I'd be the guy on the tour that would be called by the administration. Oh, there seems to be a beef, and they're pulling out guns on each other. Chuck, can you go into the room? I'm like, guys, come on, man. We got 8 dates to go. What is this? You guys know each other.
Make it
drink
to
with
the
same bottle. Yeah, Chuck, but you know what? I'm not fucking with him today. Yeah.
Chill out.
So it brings a beautiful feeling out. The guys looked up to me. I had age on them.
Right.
But I didn't swing the age at them.
You were 26 when your first album came out, which is considered old at that time.
Yeah.
A 26-year-old. Right. I mean, 30, me and Too Short had a conversation about this when he was like, being a 30-year-old rapper was like the biggest joke back then when he was starting out. A 30-year-old rapper? What are you doing?
LL had the famous lines like, my gym teacher's not supposed to rap. Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, I would be telling these guys, I said, you guys know anything about blues and Howlin' Wolf and Muddy Waters? These guys were 70, but they was like, but now they get it. I mean, I used to always go to Fife and I said, Fife, man, you're not going to retire, bro. I said, what are you going to do? Retire and then open up a cleaners? This is what you do. You're all right, Uncle Chuck. Yeah, you got it. I got to hit Q-tip today anyway. But seeing these young Black men, especially, and they didn't necessarily have to be Black. I mean, guys like, I talked to Pete Nice the other day. He respected my mentorship. I get all this from my father, who's a great leader of men in a way that lets you do your thing. And my father, he passed away 4 years ago. That's why I was able to be a chip off the block of a great man. He was a leader of many men, never had a lot of money or no great job, but just found a way that everybody would come and get straightened out and evened out talking to him. They get evened out.
Yeah.
And my dad even be talking to him. I'm like, yeah, but and he would break it down and be like 4 words, and I'll be like,
you're right.
Really? Damn, he made it. I used to call my dad a warlock because I said, you doing this too easy. You making it like breaking it. I don't even see how you do that. So maybe that rubbed off on me, and I assumed, and my dad even told me, he said, the thing about parenting and leadership and fatherhood in the 40s and 50s, he said a lot of men wanted that role. They wanted that role. 60s. Even if they wasn't able, they had no job, couldn't pay, but they wanted that role of being that, okay, listen, I'll come to you and untwist you, take you out. So we've seen each generation lose a bit of that, and we've seen it even in culture.